Hi, guys. I am Megan DeMore with Comic Book Resources. How are you today?
We're good,
How are
Megan.
you?
How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. So, I want to ask a little bit about your character's inner demons because, in addition to this like future war alien thing, we've got these two characters dealing with these like deeply intense human issues, these human problems. So, how did you? Was there anything about those struggles that you identified with, and how did that impact your performance? And Chris, if I could start with you.
Wow, that's a great question. This is a character who has severe abandonment issues with his father, who is having a hard time forgiving the man for not being there in his life. That is not something, thankfully, that I ever dealt with at home. But I do have issues with my dad, the way I suppose anybody might. And so, my character comes to learn that he himself is becoming a version of his dad, perhaps, in a way. And so I've been coming to grips with that as well in my life. Now that I have young children, I hear myself, the way I talk to them or the way I discipline, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what my dad would have said then. So I think coming to terms with your own mortality and your own similarity to the parents you once held in a particular esteem, it's an interesting dilemma, and I guess it's just part of life and part of having children. But that would be what I would say for myself.
Yeah, nice.
And Edwin, is there anything about that you could weigh in about?
Yeah, I mean, as far as my character is concerned, I think his inner demon is actually his friend. I mean, at this given point in time, besides his two buddies to his left and right, it is just him and his sickness, and at the end of the day, he's going out one of two ways, and both of them are, catastrophic in their own nature. So, for him to survive, I think he has to identify with all of that, and he has to take it on, because I think it's the one thing that actually keeps him alive.
And it looks like I have time for one last question. So I want to ask, what is something about this film that shocked or surprised you? Like, this could be the making of it, how it turned out in the end, just something that from your experience on this set that you came away like, wow, that was just such a memorable thing. Chris, if you want to start.
Wow. I just have to say, watching Chris McKay, our director, blossom into a really extraordinary filmmaker, that was really cool. I mean, he's a guy who's made awesome animated movies, and that's no small feat. That's a really hard thing to accomplish. But this was his first time on set, working with actors, giving them direction, doing the day-to-day slog of location work and all of that. He just took to it so well. So watching him become Chris McKay was pretty extraordinary, and I promise you, this is just the very beginning of everything he has to offer.
For sure.
And Edwin, if you, oh, sorry, Edwin.
He makes a fine point. I think we all mature and develop in this industry in very distinct ways, and McKay, with his background, he jumped into a new element fearlessly. He just did, and he took on this role as a director, as a creator, as a communicator, with one that you would carry with due diligence. This was his baby as well as it's Chris's baby, but like he said, he's gonna have a really healthy career after this film, because he did an amazing job with putting it together.
All right, and that's all I have time for. Thank you guys so much, and good luck with the rest of your junket.